Hello, my name is Mark Birch, Global Startup Advocate at AWS. Really glad to be here. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, more. Thank you. So I'm Dor, co-founder and CEO of Red Access. Red Access secures the hybrid workforce by protecting all employee browsing activities on any browser, any web application, and any device. And we developed the first agentless platform in that space.
That's super cool and definitely want to dig in more on what the product is and the experience. I always love to learn a little bit about how did you get into this whole area and industry, right? Because it's not necessarily maybe a natural jump. So maybe if we roll it back before the startup, what were you doing before?
All right. So it all started with my partner, Tal, who is a friend of mine since the age of 10. We actually met at school.
I also going back long.
A long time, yeah. And since then we're together, served in the army together, then had our first jobs together, working at a small cybersecurity startup here in Israel that then got acquired by a larger enterprise. So I kind of experienced the end-to-end process of it. That's what brought us into that space and developing our own company.
So in thinking maybe you and Tal going out together to do something, how did you come upon the idea that maybe there's something that needs to be done around the browser and security?
Right. So first, we live that space of cybersecurity started back then and for today. I think like the process started with identifying the challenges in the market that we wanted to address. And then it started with developing a prototype we can start validate and work with design partners on. Then we focused moved to the fundraising and got funded from a few major VCs. And then it moved like 1 year later with over 20 employees. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty rapid growth. In that process of customer discovery, how were you able to find the people to reach out to, and were they willing to work with you to help mold the solution?
Yeah, for sure. I think that the tech innovation, it speaks for itself, and people are always curious to learn more and new things, and then get familiar with the product and what we do and the team and the background, and eventually see how can we help them on improving the day-to-day work. So yeah, we're definitely for people curious about it.
Yeah, so let's dig into the day-to-day work. How do customers experience your product? Like, what exactly is it changing in that day-to-day experience?
Awesome. So I think like we started from the need to secure browsing in hybrid work.
Good morning.
Yeah. And most companies have adopted that hybrid work model. So that situation of people working from anywhere with different types of devices and requiring the same level of security and productivity as before is in itself a challenge. Yeah. So we developed an agentless platform that provides a seamless user experience to the employees and perfect smooth security that's suitable with a hybrid work model. So the guideline that we kept in mind always was zero compromise on security and user experience. So users do not need to install anything on their devices.
Right, so the no agent then.
The no agent thing. They continue to work with their preferred browsers and preferred web application for them to like work as usual without the risk. And for the security teams, there is no more hassle in managing any endpoint agent, especially when the environment is distributed. And no more need in using any older traditional solutions such as VPN or VDI just to route the traffic back to the office. So we developed that unified agentless solution to secure all users, the in-office users, remote users, and third-party contractors. All devices, managed devices, unmanaged, and bring your own device. and all browsing activities inside it, like in any browser and any web application. So when speaking about browser and browsing at the core of the hybrid work, and as such, it has become a main target for attackers. We look at the browser as one application among many others. Browser is far from being the only risky application in the browsing space. There are many web-based desktop applications that we use on a daily basis for file sharing, video conferencing, chat. So they contain browsing risks that are not browser-based.
Good insight. So I love like the innovation. So what's next? Are you thinking about maybe extensions to the product? Is it maybe different markets, customer bases? Are you looking for maybe additional funding? Like, what does the future look like?
All right. So we do always both, keeping the innovation at the core of what we do. Right now, our main market is North America. Obviously, we have some deployment in Israel as well. But we're planning to further expand our growth in the US with a sales team we're now hiring. And I guess in the future, we'll expand our operations in some other regions.
That's super exciting. This is the first time about your own startup.
Yes.
So you must be learning so much. Is there maybe like an insight or a lesson learned that might be valuable for other entrepreneurs that are just starting out?
So many. So many.
No, it's a big question.
Yeah, it is. Right. I think what I've learned is to be constantly adaptive, learning and sharing with true practitioners, whether they be inexperienced founders or CEOs or investors. That has always brought me some unique insights and perspectives. Secondly, it's right. As a founder of an early stage startup with limited resources, I was wearing many hats to get the initial traction. But then I think trust and giving your people more responsibilities is a key here. So I'm bringing in people of great talent, and I rely on them. And that's a whole journey of constant learning and personal growth.
Yeah, exactly. As one fellow founder told me, I like to fire myself from jobs as our startup sales. Right. So really just a pleasure just having you come here and share a little bit about your experience. And I wish you so much success going forward. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. That's my pleasure being here.
Thank you, folks, and thank you for listening. Take care now.